Hello, welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Welcome back. This is the only show where... Yeah, this is the only show, I guess. Today we have guests on again. I'm Nolan. Who are you?
I'm Dan.
This is Dan. He's back. We brought him back to life after he died in the last episode. I don't think that was canon.
No.
Who are you?
I'm James.
James is back. James, whatever. One of the two.
Jim-Marie.
Jimbo. He will only be
Jimbo.
referred to as Jimbo from here
It's
on
like
out.
from the Jimmy Neutron movie.
He
The
is,
Jimbo podcast.
you could almost be Jimmy Neutron. You should grow out your hair again and then style it like Jimmy
Yes.
Neutron.
Oh, that'd be so...
I would love to see
Imagine
that.
how much gel I'd have to use just to hold it.
Yeah, Jimmy, he must go through like tubs of that stuff. Just dips his head in like a bathtub full of it every morning.
Yeah, he doesn't even take a bath. He just like takes a bathtub and it's just full of gel.
He just bathes in hair gel.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
Statistically, one person has done that before on this planet Earth.
It must have happened. Especially for one of those, like, really hairy guys.
Probably, yeah.
Just gel their body hair.
I would gel my like leg hair and just stick it out to the side like a cactus.
Ew.
Think of all the babes who would just like swarm to you after that.
No, I think if all your hair just stuck straight out, you'd look like a scared cat or something.
Like it would stick up even under your clothes.
That'd be the worst. Getting that stuff just like on your forehead, like you like can't move your forehead. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Getting it all over your body would be the worst feeling. I have a feeling submerging yourself in it would kill you like instantly.
Like your skin can't breathe.
Probably, it'd probably be very bad for you. You'd
That's
you'd probably take it off and all your skin would be like really dried up and like horrible.
That's how the Tin Man died, right? Like the paint just like couldn't let his skin breathe, or it got caught in his bloodstream or something. Right?
In real life?
Yeah.
I don't think he died, did he?
Did he? Oh, I thought he died from it.
Well, I'm sure. Well, he died, but I don't know if he died from that. I know that
I have heard that before, though.
I know that during the filming, it was like uncomfortable for him because they had to paint his body and it makes it like difficult.
Yeah.
I know that during the filming of Goldfinger for James Bond, Goldfinger?
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. That might be a real movie, though. I think that's a real movie.
Probably, yeah.
During 007 Goldfinger. A magic toe.
Is it just like about like someone who picks their nose?
He's got a gold finger. He's got the Midas touch. James Bond has to stop him before he steals the Smithsonian. The whole thing. During the filming of that, the one lady who's like the one lady who's dead, who's like laying in the bed. During the filming of that, she said they had to paint her entire body, and so she said she was like feeling sick and lightheaded. I believe they actually did it on an episode of Mythbusters to see what happened, and they had like people standing by in case if something went wrong. But they painted, what's her name, Carrie? They painted Carrie, and she said that she started to get like headaches and that she just wasn't feeling good. It wasn't like lead-based paint or anything. It was just like normal paint, but it was it like your skin can't breathe, and apparently it just feels like really claustrophobic.
Probably.
Gotta be careful about scientific testing like that on people.
I remember the one where they like buried Jamie, like out in the parking lot. They never did dig him up.
Like who's the person that decided all of this was immoral?
Probably Jamie and Adam.
Yeah. I mean, they volunteer to do it. It's not like, oh yeah, you're just gonna be painted today.
Yeah, right?
I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's like they want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's for science and for the money.
Yeah.
From royalties.
Yes, so, I know, if anybody's watched like a Vsauce video recently, they started doing this series and they had to get so much permission just to do this one experiment. Have you guys ever heard of the thing where a train is coming down the tracks and there's 2 tracks and there's 5 people on one and there's 1 person on the other?
Oh shoot! And they like ran one of them over?
You have to decide, you're in control. Does the train stay on the right, like the track, and kill the 5 people, or do you pull it and just kill 1 person? If you do nothing, you have no connection to whether or not those people died. But if you do something, you cause the death of 1 person. But if you do something, you're still saving 5 people over 1 person.
So wait, did they like run people over? What did?
Well, the thing was, they filmed people standing on the track, and then they placed that video over, on a TV screen and made it look real. And then they did the same thing with the train, and then they just overlapped them so that it looked like the train was actually coming at the people.
And so people were like freaking out and didn't know what to do or something?
Right, yeah, the conductor guy, he left just like a random person in there, like one of the test subjects in there, by themselves, and then the situation happened on the monitor, and they had to decide whether or not to pull the switch.
How did they know which switch to pull?
Well, the guy
labeled?
showed him beforehand.
Oh, because he was like, this is how you operate the tracks, and he like showed everything to him?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, do you want to do this? I mean, go ahead. Yeah, I showed you how to do it, And then, after that, he left. So they clearly know how to pull the switch. Mm-hmm. They just need to decide whether or not to do it. And they had to go through so much stuff just to determine, is this, okay? Because you could, scar people that way.
Yeah, exactly. They'll probably think that they just killed someone.
Yeah.
That's why I could see that being a problem. And then Vsauce Michael appears. He appears out of their bowl of soup or whatever. He's like, it was just a prank. This is Vsauce. Hey, guys. I have fears that I'm going to wake up one of these nights and my closet's going to open and he's just going to be like, hey, Vsauce, and pop out. I have a feeling that that's how I'll die. He'll just appear to me in the woods or something. He'll crawl out of my TV like Sadako.
He's not Vine Sauce, is he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
It's so hilarious though.
I don't know Vsauce or anything I don't know.
Vsauce is there's 3 Vsauce channels. Vsauce 1 is all the scientific reality bending stuff. Boomer, you're polluting the audio! If you're gonna be on this podcast, you have to comply, or I'll fire you. Let me take off his collar real quick. BRB. BRB.
We've already had one person die on the show.
There's about to be another death in the family, Boomer. No, but Vsauce 1 is all the reality stuff where he talks about theoretical physics and alternate universes. Vsauce 2 is, I believe that one's all about humans and, the human body and things that people have done. I could have Vsauce 2 and 3 confused, but Vsauce 3 is with Jake Roper, and he talks about, fantasy stuff, so he'll talk about, video games and movies and books and stuff like that.
So I guess, Vsauce 2 is, where they do the social experiments?
I don't think they do social experiments, really. That show he's talking about is called Mindfield, right?
Right, yeah.
It's a YouTube Red show.
That's not considered social experiments, or?
It would be, yeah.
That is, but, that's just because it's one of those things, they started doing a while ago where you actually have to pay for it. It's a series on YouTube Red. The channel's not usually like that. Usually they're just going over concepts and theories.
Unlike shouting the N-word in, the parking lot of a Walmart, I would consider that a real social experiment.
Yeah.
Unlike whatever most YouTube channels are doing. I'm glad that prank, I don't know, what was the one, Joey something? He was Joey Salads, wasn't he the big, fake prank channel for a while there? I think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know a lot of them are fake, though. The gold digger pranks, I'm pretty sure most of those are fake.
Those are, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Oh, yeah, I have a boyfriend. Okay, let me just hop in my Lamborghini. Oh, wait, do you still want to hang? I'm pretty sure those are fake.
Subscribe to The Real Augie TV, because he does real pranks. And they're not go destroy someone's car and then say it's a prank. They're pulling practical jokes on people that are not harmful and don't ruin their day, but rather enhance it, I'd say. Harmless stuff. What was the one? He just takes a bite out of a banana. I think that's my favorite one.
He bites the peel.
He just bites the peel, yeah.
I guess it's a matter of perspective. Freaking swearing. Their sentence enhancer.
Yeah, right? He's enhancing their day, you see. They're happy. They want him to pull pranks on them.
These aren't social experiments.
I'm constantly on the lookout for Augie. I always know he's going to do something to me.
He's going to pop out one day of your closet. Just like Vsauce. Augie here.
Yeah, Vsauce Augie. When is that going to be a channel?
Well, I mean, when we did see Augie again, he was doing, that thing where, he was, like stepping like really loud to see if you'd react. I kind of thought he had a hidden camera on him.
I couldn't tell. Maybe we've been pranked.
Like I wasn't.
Ever since 8th grade, Augie's been pranking us in secret.
He's been planning this channel for years.
He's gonna do a mega compilation. He's got like 5,000 gigabytes of video to sift through. It's gonna take him 2 years.
Yes.
That'd be great. I would love it if this whole thing was just a prank. Then I would shoot myself.
My life is a prank.
Oh no!
Daniel.
Crawling in my skin. Anyways, the topic of this episode is dreams. Back to the Vsauce thing. Vinesauce is like a group of 20 people. Not 20, there's like 15 different streamers. The main guy is Vinny, who like started it all. The next most popular guy is Joel. But Vinesauce, like Vinny, every stream he gets asked that. He's like, "Are you Vsauce?" So every stream he's like, "Yes, I am Vsauce. I am Vsauce Michael. That is me." But yeah, he's not Vsauce. They're not related in any way.
Right.
This episode is about dreams. We're going to be talking about dreams and what they do.
You don't mind if I close this really quick?
You can close the blinds. Go ahead. Dreams are weird. I have a lot of weird ones. I keep a dream journal because it's a good way. Go ahead and close them. Dream journals are a good way to keep track of possibly good ideas. I'm always like making things, so I like to keep that, and then someday if I need an idea, I just sift through that or something. I have some weird ones. I don't know if you guys have any good dream stories, any weird dream stories?
Well, keeping a dream journal is a really good idea because I can never remember my dreams, and then it comes up in conversation, and I'm just racking my brain for dreams I've had. I know I've had some really weird ones, and I can always remember them the next morning, but, after a few days, it's just gone,
I'm still waiting for the dream I get the big titty goth GF.
It's not gonna happen.
It never will.
It'll never happen.
They don't exist.
They're not real. You can't have a dream about something that's not real, James.
That's true. I mean, I have dreamt about demons, so...
That is freaky.
It was freaky.
I was mentioning this morning that I have a lot of dreams about, like, with dinosaurs in it for some reason. I don't know the psychological reason behind that.
Dinosaurs? You're into that? That's a bit kinky.
No. Not like that. Let me find this real quick. This is a book about 12,000 Dreams Interpreted by Gustavus Hindman Miller, revised and updated by Linda Shields and Lenore Skomal. We're going to look up dinosaurs real quick. Flip over to the D's.
Since
Such an educational channel.
Since you're going to look up dinosaurs, can you look up demons? I'm actually really concerned what it means.
Oh, I just saw devil. Let me see if I can find demons. Demon,
Means you have
disco, the same thing. Demon, doctor. Why can't I find E? A, B, C, D. Oh, because E comes before I, of course. That's why. I figured it out. Have you been having dreams about diarrhea?
No.
That's in here, just in case.
You have diabetes.
There's diabetes. This is an unending nightmare, James.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
To be in the presence of a demon in your dream warns you of evil doings around you. To fight and defeat a demon suggests that you will have many blessings in family, home, and work.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't fight the demon. He
So,
stared at me.
watch
and
out.
I woke up and my blood was all chilly.
Yeah, watch out, James. Dinosaur. To dream of these ancient animals recommends that you rethink an idea that may be outdated. Ooh, that is good. That is good. I like that.
Nice.
That's really cool. Let me flip through this.
Yeah, there's spaghetti in there somewhere. Doesn't that mean like good fortune? I think spaghetti. We got that
Spaghetti.
book, and we flipped to spaghetti, and it's like good fortune.
Filberts.
Filberts. What happens if you dream of filberts?
What is
To
it?
dream of seeing filberts is favorable, denoting a peace and harmonious domestic life and profitable business ventures.
What is a filbert?
I don't know.
Is that anything like Dilbert?
Evidently, it's something you can eat. It says to dream of eating filberts signifies to the young, delightful associations and many true friends.
Can I see this really quick? I want to see, like, the fighting one.
What is a filbert?
Filbert, a cultivated hazel tree that bears edible oval nuts.
It's nuts.
Nuts.
Edible oval nuts.
Ovary nuts.
No. Ew.
James.
They look like acorns. It's filbert. That's great. Okay, now we know what filberts are. I thought filberts were like something made of wood that went on a ship.
Well, if you like eating filbert nuts, then please comment down in the comment section. Let us know what your experience is so we can understand how they taste.
I don't know if anyone knows what filbert nuts are. I don't think anybody's ever had filbert nuts.
I'm sure they're a thing that exists, clearly.
So can you think of any dreams off the top of your head that have like always stuck with you, Daniel?
Well, I do remember when I was younger, I watched Jeepers Creepers for the first time, and that stuck with me for a while. I think I was. It's not much to talk about, but it was kind of just this big field of like, brown grass or whatever, kind of like you see like outside the window of the bus. It's just kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? And then I don't remember. It was really, really weird. Okay, so there was this shack, and then there was this bed right in the shack, and it was like a tiny shack. It was probably about the size of like your bedroom, it's I don't know, it's probably like only like 5 meters by 5 meters or something. Anyway, and it was all torn up and everything. It wasn't complete. It was kind of like messed up and busted down. And there was this old bed, and underneath the bed, I think I found Buzz Lightyear.
You found Buzz Lightyear? Was he like human sized or was he small?
I think he was human sized, and I think he was dead.
Oh, you found a decomposing Buzz Lightyear. That's a new one.
Yeah, so
that should be the thumbnail for this one. Just dead Buzz Lightyear with you under the bed, like.
Yeah, well, kudos to you if you can make a thumbnail out of that.
I will figure it out.
It'll haunt my dreams again, but I think that's the earliest nightmare I've been able to come up with.
Dead Buzz Lightyear. That is fantastic.
Which I don't know how Buzz Lightyear got into this dream after I watched Jeepers Creepers, but, maybe I was obsessed with Toy Story as a kid, so it could have been that.
There you go. So maybe it was like, it could be that, like, you loved Toy Story, right? And then you saw Jeepers Creepers, and it, like, somehow spoiled Toy Story for you. And so in your mind, you're like, Buzz is dead.
I mean, to be fair,
I killed Tim the Toolman Allen.
Oh, really? I just want to say, to be fair, we all were a little bit creeped out when we saw Sid's bedroom, though, right? So it might have a connection.
Yeah, I guess so. I always wanted the blacklight posters that Sid had, though. They were all like super cool. Edgy, and I wanted them very bad. They have a bunch of cool blacklight posters. I know back in like the 70s, I believe, Marvel did a bunch of... They did like blacklight posters for like Spider-Man, and I think like some of the cosmic characters. Like, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy specifically, but a few like Jack Kirby designs, and they're all really cool. They're like black with like a bunch of neon colors. They're blacklight posters, but they're like really rare now. They're like $120 a piece, and most of the times they're in pretty poor condition, just because most of the time people weren't collecting them. There was kids buying them and putting tacks in the corners and probably shooting darts at Spider-Man's face.
Kid stuff.
They're cool though. I have a bit of a weird dream. I explained this to you this morning, James.
Oh, okay.
My dreams are always super weird, and I don't know what they mean. After I read this, I'll just interpret it as best as I can using the dream thing. But this is what I wrote down upon waking up. Okay, I'll try to explain some of this stuff because I remember it better than I wrote it. I was on a cliffside with most of my friends and family. We overlooked an artificial desert together as we made our way down the side. So this was weird. It was like a plateau, right? And like I could see the desert, but the desert was like, you know how like front yards look, how everything is put there like by someone? The whole desert was like that. It was like someone's front yard. It was like artificial looking, like under it was concrete and stuff.
Well, so basically where we live now.
Pretty much, but yeah, it was like an artificial desert. It was very weird. Oh. And the bushes were all like made of plastic and stuff. It was weird. It's so vaporwave. Eventually, one of my friends found a lobster-like creature and took it in as a pet. I think that was Terry, actually.
I already have it looked up.
Oh, cool. I would just keep those pages bookmarked, and we'll
Yeah.
just read them at the end. Eventually, though, the lobster was sent to the future in a convenience store. Yeah, somehow the lobster just, like, teleported away, and we had no idea where it went. Once we got to the convenience store, we had to order food fast, as it was closing. Outside, there was a small junkyard that resembled that of, what is it? It was just like a scrapyard. It had, like, I've got an uncle who's got, like, a bunch of just junk out back of his house, like, destroyed cars and stuff. It looked a lot like that. There, we found the lobster, but now it was only James, Terry, Kelston, and I. The lobster was bigger now. We continued on our journey down the road of the artificial plateau until we found a clothing store. We stopped again, and I worked there for a bit. We all decided we had to know what the lobster was, and so we went to the mountains to find Gandalf. Is Gandalf in that book, James? Try wizard, maybe.
Wizard, okay.
There we found him with a mute dwarf and a horse. I don't know who the dwarf was. He was just like a dwarf. He didn't have a beard. He was a dwarf, though. He was on a cliff with a block-like native structure with a way leading to the bottom. So it was like you see those like Native American structures when you're like on like
Like a teepee?
when you have you guys ever been to like Tuesday Goot? You guys ever been there? It's down. It's more like southern Arizona, but it's kind of close to Sedona. But it's like a Native American like old fortress. It reminded me of that. Like it was like that like old like brick kind of formation.
Oh, like those houses?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But this thing was weird because it was on a pillar that just led all the way up like into the sky, and you had to go up like a staircase going up to it.
Oh.
Once we were there, we were told by Gandalf that the lobster was an ancient creature that would end the world. It could not be destroyed, and so it had a spell put on it to repeatedly send it forward in time. That way, it would only destroy the world partially, and then be sent forward again. So I guess when we had it just got sent forward like 5 minutes into where we were. I don't know. Just a coincidence. He took the creature as we were attacked by goblin-like monsters. We escaped through the Swiss cheese-like canyons on what seemed to be our wings, while he stayed behind. His dwarf and horse died, but I couldn't tell if he lived or not. It was a bizarre dream, James. What have you got over there, James?
I'm gonna try finding Canyon really quick.
You're gonna find Canyon?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got everything else bookmarked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's summarize then. You were on a plateau overlooking a fake-looking desert, and you found a lobster.
We found a lobster.
And then you went out and did something. Right, whatever. You went into town, and then you found the lobster again.
Because the lobster disappeared while we were on our journey.
Right, because it disappeared. And then you went to find out what it was, and then you got ambushed.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have anything, James?
So I have junkyard because you said you went to the junkyard.
Did you find lobster? Is that in there?
Yeah, I found lobster.
Okay.
So for junkyard, to dream of a junkyard indicates that there is much in your current life that you should discard, whether it be attitudes, outdated dreams, or personal characteristics that do not serve you well.
Fascinating. A lot of this book is like spiritual stuff, by the way, so I don't know if I trust most of it, but some of it is just like subliminal things, so some of it I trust.
Lobster. To dream of seeing lobsters suggests great favors and riches. If you eat them, you risk contamination by associating too freely with pleasure-seeking people. If the lobsters are made into a salad, success will not change your generous nature, but you will enjoy to the fullest your ideas of pleasure. If you dream of ordering lobster, you will hold prominent positions and will command many subordinates.
Fascinating. So wait.
Okay,
So what would that be then? The lobster...
This is basically if you eat lobster.
I didn't eat the lobster. The
But
lobster was a world-ending device.
But if you dream of seeing lobsters, suggest great favors and riches.
Okay, it was going to end the world. We should try looking up apocalypse in a minute, but
Okay.
continue.
And then there is... what is this one? I have this.
Well, favors and riches, it kind of goes together. It's just the opposite of that.
Were you looking at mountains, maybe?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or was it,
I think it was...
Wait, multiplication, mummy, mug, Mud. Mucus. Mountain. Okay.
If you ascend a mountain in your dream, and the way is pleasant and verdant, you will rise swiftly to wealth and prominence. If the mountain is rugged and you fail to reach the top, you may expect reverses in your life and should strive to overcome all weaknesses in your nature.
See, some of them I just don't think really apply, like, at all. Like, some of them like that are just, like, predictions. They're like fortune cookies. Some of them are like fortune cookies. And then other ones are like, dreaming of, I don't know, an apple signifies that you're happy. It's like, okay, I believe that. Whatever.
There's
Perhaps
a little
we're-
more, but...
Oh, there's more?
To awaken when you're at a dangerous point in your ascent suggests that you will probably find affairs taking a positive turn when they appear gloomy.
Interesting.
Well, perhaps we're looking at it wrong. I mean, because the mountain was just a small part of your story.
It was like the beginning,
and I
yeah.
think the book is assuming that your whole entire dream was about this thing.
Yeah.
To dream of a wizard suggests that you're going to have a big family, which will cause you much inconvenience as well as displeasure. For young people, this dream implies loss and broken engagements.
Huh.
I have no broken engagements. And
Loss.
I don't think I've really, I don't know. I don't think I really hate my family. I can't say that. I don't hate them.
I'm gonna look up...
Plateau, maybe?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse or plateau? What?
What was the name of the skeleton?
Oh, you mean Charlie?
Charlie.
Charlie's here. He's in the floorboards.
He's under the bed.
Yeah, like, you know, Charles, you might have lost Charles.
Oh, we lost Charlie. He's dead.
Yeah,
He was dead to begin with, though. He was
Charlie.
born a skeleton.
He was born a
He was
skeleton.
born a skeleton.
That's the sad part, is he was born a skeleton.
He was born
No
dead.
apocalypse. It goes to apathy to apologizing.
Is there like Doomsday, maybe? I don't know. Doomsday. Did you try Plateau?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's one thing at a time. While James is looking that up, here, do you want me to look them up? And then, James, you can tell a story about your dreams?
Oh, Doomsday.
Oh, Doomsday.
To
Perfect.
dream that you're looking forward to Doomsday is a warning for you to give substantial and material affairs close attention. Or you will find that the artful and scheming friends you are entertaining will get what they desire from you, which is your wealth and not your heart.
Are you guys scheming for my wealth? Trying to steal my riches?
I gotta go.
Yeah, okay. All right, James.
Yeah, this was fun, you know. Great,
Yeah,
great
nice.
Welcome to
seeing
episode
ya.
4 of the
Sorry
podcast.
for clapping.
It's over. The episode 5 or whatever, the end.
No, I'm not trying to take your riches at all.
Okay, I appreciate that. You won't get much out of me. Like, I have a $15 Subway gift card. You can have that if you want.
That'll kill me.
Yeah, James gets like food poisoning every time he goes to Subway, and it's just him, so he might be allergic to Subway.
Just me.
I wasn't, you know, I mean, you do have a killer gaming setup, so it's
Maybe, perhaps.
perhaps in the
Monitor.
future.
I got a dual monitor setup,
With
guys.
surround sound.
I got a
And a PS4 Pro. Dude, you're living it.
And,
Dude, it's amazing.
And a friggin' Atari Flashback 3.
yeah. Don't steal my 2 Mario Brothers movie action figures. Those
Oh
are
my
very
gosh.
real. I need Bob Hoskins and John
Those
Leguizamo.
have got to be the most valuable things ever.
$10 I paid for both of those.
Really?
Both of them.
They're probably worth
$10.
thousands
shipping?
today.
Wow.
They're not. They're worth like $30 if they're in the box with their accessories.
Oh,
They're only $30 though. For something that old, it's normally like $100. But
Yeah.
It depends on the figure. Like certain X-Men figures are worth nothing in the box. Other ones are worth like hundreds of dollars.
Oh.
Other things from that time. Okay, so that's what Doomsday means. James,
Yes.
name a story. Name your dream. What did you dream about? Did you have any good dreams? Pleasant dreams? Bad
I didn't
dreams?
have a dream last night.
You didn't dream.
I didn't. I was dead.
James was dead. He died for a few hours and then he woke up.
I don't dream anymore.
You don't dream anymore?
No, I'm kidding, but
There's a thing in here for like absence of dreams?
probably no, you're always dreaming, you just don't remember it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But the one dream that I can think about now, in sophomore year I was going through depression really bad. And I always had this dream that there was this haunted mansion. And me, my brother, and then a random group of people I never seen in my life. We just went in it. And every time we're like, okay, let's not get separated. And I would lead the way and we'd walk down a hallway. And then as soon as I turned around, it was just me and my brother. And so the entire dream was just me and my brother trying to find everybody in the mansion. And the dream repeated 3 times, like in different points of my life. And then as soon as I stopped having depression, I saw in one dream the mansion was behind me and I was driving away from it. So that was really, really, really weird. And every time the first time I went into the mansion, the same thing happened every time. But the first time I went into the mansion, me and Gio were walking, my older brother, and I saw a demon. And then I remember like my entire body went cold and I woke up shaking. And that was all I could remember from that one.
Did we already look up demon?
Yeah.
We did, okay. I'm going to try to find driving for you real quick.
And then haunted house.
Haunted house. I found haunted house.
Well, maybe mansion might be more...
I actually found one for, not specifically haunted house, but it's a haunting, and it mentions a haunted house.
Okay.
So driving. To dream of driving signifies unjust criticism of your seeming extravagance. You will be compelled to do things that appear undignified. To dream of driving in a public cab denotes menial labor with little chance for advancement. If it is a wagon, you will remain in poverty and unfortunate circumstances for some time. If you are driven by others, you will profit by superior knowledge of the world and will always find some path through difficulties. So were you driving?
No, someone was driving me. So I was having I guess I found knowledge through the difficult path.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
weird.
Haunting. To be haunted by a ghost in your dream foretells of an unexpected gift. To find yourself in a haunted house or building suggests an unexpected move.
Well, we didn't move in that time period, so we're okay.
Yeah, I think most of this is fortune telling. Some of it's useful though. Nazi party! To dream of this racist political party foretells extreme change in the way you view your spiritual beliefs. You gonna turn into a Nazi on us, James?
I didn't dream of Nazis.
Dreaming of the Nazis?
That didn't happen at all.
I rest my case.
James is a Nazi. Thank you for coming to this podcast.
My dreams are weird. I'm gonna find another weird one. I'm just gonna flip to a random page and see what I get. Bam!
What about you, Daniel? Do you have another one?
No, I mean, one just came to my mind of me playing the Spider-Man 3 game, the original one where you could go around the city on your own. It was kind of like an open map and everything, of just the city. And I would always get to the top of the Empire State Building, and then if I did some kind of fancy jump, there'd be an invisible city above, but it was all invisible. And I don't know, I'd always go around there. And I think that was probably driven by the fact that, there was this glitch in the game where if you hopped on a car, you could go past the bridge.
Oh.
Right? If you remember that. But I think that just had more to do with my obsession with video games than anything else. I don't think that signifies anything. But I had that dream 4 or 5 times where I was just, in this invisible city above New York City as Spider-Man. So, I don't know. I've been playing that game too much, I guess.
Also, I could see myself getting lost in this book.
I just remember there being a dream one time where I read a kid's book, but it was a haunted kid's book, right? And so it was a kid's book about distorted versions of it was the very stereotypical creepypasta of oh, they were hyper realistic and then blood came out of their eyes. It was that. And it was a distorted version of it was a mishmash of Family Guy, Simpsons, and Spider-Man. I just remember Spider-Man had 2 AK-47s for some reason. He was mowing down pedestrians.
Yes.
I don't know what it means. I don't think Spider-Man is in that book. I can't prove it. What does it mean to dream of Spider-Man? Let's ask the interweb.
Maybe superhero? But the superhero was doing a bad thing.
What does it mean to dream of Spider-Man? The meaning of the dream symbol, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is wait. The meaning and symbolism of the word Spider-Man
also means that you underestimate yourself too much in your waking life.
Oh, dang, wait. I underestimate myself too much in my waking life. Fascinating. So, yeah, I wonder what Spider-Man dreaming of AK-40... What does it mean to dream of guns? What does it mean to dream of guns?
According to Dreams Cloud, Dreaming of a gun may represent fear, anger, or aggression, or may be a symbol of power or control. May also suggest that you feel you need to protect or defend yourself.
Fascinating. So Spider-Man, I need to be protected by Spider-Man?
Well,
I would love, that would be okay, whatever.
Wait,
If you want
it was
my
Spider-Man with a
personal-
gun?
It was, he had like 2 AK-47s. That's all I remember is that image and like Peter Griffin laughing with blood coming out of his eyes.
Did you have this dream before? Did you have this dream before Deadpool came out?
I don't know. When was this? This was like
It's like
This was
Deadpool fucked
back
everybody
in-
up.
2016, I believe. Yeah,
Oh.
let me look back. I can't find it now. It's like 2016. Yeah.
You saw Deadpool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was Deadpool and I just thought he was Spider-Man. That may be it. I lost the date. Otherwise, I would find it. But oh well. That's interesting.
Maybe it's meant to symbolize that you can't trust your heroes, and even your heroes are evil
That
with
is
their own intentions.
That is also very possible. I'm gonna try to find one of those weird dinosaur dreams. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Nothing really specific. I just remember having a lot of dreams where it's like I'm like in Jurassic Park, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I haven't watched Jurassic Park in a long time, but just a lot of dreams of like hiding and like running around Jurassic Park trying not to get cut or caught, rather. Yeah, it's just I seem to have those an awful lot. Not like weekly or anything, but I seem to have like a few of those.
I've been having a lot of dreams where it feels just so real. I think it's just an ordinary day.
Mm.
And so I don't remember it because it's like, oh, it's just an ordinary day. I'm going to school. You know, I got up, I showered, and then I wake up and I repeat the same thing. Like, oh, that was a dream.
Hmm.
Let me see if that, like, how would I describe that?
Well, when
You
life
woke up
gets
and showered?
monotonous,
Woke up and showered, is what you said? That was it?
Yeah, like I woke up, I showered, you know, I got ready for the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I did like half of a day, and then I woke up, but it just felt so real. I'm like, huh. Maybe
I don't know. I don't know what that would be. Maybe like
deja vu?
repetition,
Repetition.
perhaps. Repetition, try deja vu. One of those. Either one of those would be fine.
I'll do repetition first.
And then, does anybody else have like any other stories, any other fun dreams they'd like to talk about?
not really.
Not really at the moment.
No. But I mean, I could try to interpret James's dream, because if you think about it, if you're dreaming about what you do every day anyway, that just kind of signifies that you're in a
Stagnant.
rut, maybe.
Yeah,
You
just in
know,
one
always
place.
doing the same thing.
Yeah, I get that. That's probably what it is. Just wake up, shower, go to bed. Did you find it, James? Is that why you're making that face?
I just found something really weird.
What did you find, James?
Sack.
Sack.
Okay.
It's just like,
Oh,
dream of a full sack means good luck. An empty sack in your dream warns of obstacles you must overcome.
What types of sacks do you dream about, James?
None.
None?
None.
You sure
I'm
about
just
that?
imagining like just a sack that's like full, but it's just like full of air.
It's full of anything.
Yeah.
It's
'cause,
magic.
Like, if it says it's full, it means good luck.
Mm-hmm.
I've never dreamt of a sack.
What if the sack is full of something like unfortunate and sad? Does that change the course of the dream then?
No. If it's as long as it's not empty, you're fine.
It's a sack of sadness.
Sack of sadness. It means good luck.
If it's full, it's good luck, even if it's sadness.
Yeah. There's also what was I looking for? Oh, rut. To dream that you're physically stuck in a rut means that you'll soon be moving forward with a current problem that has vexed you, thanks to help from an unexpected source.
okay. So you
Okay.
are aware that it's a problem,
And then
so
someone's
now
gonna
you need to fix it.
so you'll either that means you have problems you gotta correct, James.
I'm just full of problems.
Alright. So Dark Souls. Who likes Dark Souls? Does anybody like
I
Dark Souls?
love
Dang,
Dark
that
Souls.
changed.
I like Dark Souls. I
Okay.
beat one boss and then I let James do all the other ones because I can't do them.
No, you did pretty well. You killed the Capra demon.
I killed the Capra Demon.
That was tough.
That was
a tough fight.
the Capra Demon. If anyone doesn't know, imagine they put you in a tool shed with a guy who's 10 feet tall and then like 50 dogs. And you have to not only kill him, who has like 20-foot swords, but you also have to kill the dogs because the dogs all attack at different times. That way, as soon as you get up, they attack you. And they block your path. You can't roll around them. It's not fun. We tried that one maybe like 20 times, and the worst part is that the nearest checkpoint or bonfire is like down an elevator, down a set of stairs, and across a building, and in some ruins. So you have to walk a good like 5 minutes to get back to him.
Yeah.
And there's like enemies the whole way, and it's the worst. Dark Souls is unforgiving, but if you can master it, it is super rewarding.
It is so fun.
It is, at the moment, it's like one of my favorite like kind of open world games.
Yeah.
It's open world, I guess. It's all connected, but it's like, it's not like explore wherever. It's like you have to get keys to go to places and stuff like that. It's good though. I really like Dark Souls. I've played a bit of Dark Souls 3. I got to the dragon in Dark Souls 3, which I think is only like right past the first boss. And then I haven't played any of Dark Souls 2, never played Demon Souls, played a little bit of Bloodborne.
Okay. I love Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is fun. It's very fun.
I'm on Dark Souls 2 right now. I'm probably going to do a New Game Plus on that if they have it. I don't know if they do. But if they do, I'm going to do another gameplay of that. And I'm going to take a break from Dark Souls. I need to beat the other games I have.
Dark Souls is fun. I feel like it's a series where the Let's Plays you see of it are really relaxing because it takes so much concentration normally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like even though it's like these horrible monstrosities and stuff, it's like, it doesn't get very tense watching other people play it.
Well, no, it does.
It does when they're like in boss fights, I think, because you like hope they don't die. But
when I watch my little brother play, he plays so weird.
Oh, watching Charles play it has got to be nerve-wracking.
Because he'll pretend that...
Not to be confused with Charlie.
No,
Charlie is the skeleton.
Charlie is not my brother. Charles is my brother.
Charles is not Charlie, but Charlie is Charles. We'll never know. Anyways.
But watching Charles play Dark Souls is so stressful. He won't... I don't know. I can't describe it. You just have to watch it.
He won't learn from his mistakes.
He won't... Well, he does get better, but it takes him a long time, and I can't watch. Anyways. I played Dark Souls, and my dad was in the room. And that was awkward, too.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to, like, talk to me as I was playing, and you can't pause. And so I didn't want him to think I was just being rude and not, like, looking over. I was, like, in the middle of, like, fighting 20 spiders.
Huh.
And so he was just talking to me. He's like, so what's this game about? It's Dark Souls. What do? You kill everything. Yeah. That's all you do.
Who's the spider lady?
Spider lady?
Queequeg?
Quaylog.
Quaylog. Yeah. That one was fun. That one was... Surprisingly, that was easier than the Capra Demon, I would say.
Yeah. It was just kind of infuriating because you have to cross the poison.
The worst part was when you couldn't roll out of the way because she's like half spider, and so her legs like make a cage when she's going to do this one attack. So if you're close to her, she catches you and you can't get out. And then it's an instant kill pretty much, which is fun. Dark Souls is a fun game. And I think I love the art style of it more than I love the actual game. I've looked at the art books before. I haven't bought one. I need to buy them. But all the designs are great. And I just love how weird and creepy it is. I love drawings of like weird monsters. I love seeing all of like H.R. Geiger's designs for the alien and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's just different styles of it.
My favorite thing of Dark Souls is on Steam. People gave it tags of family friendly.
Did they really?
And when Dark Souls 3 came out, the top tag was family friendly.
That's pretty good. Yeah, let your kids play this. See what happens.
It's fun for the entire family. My mom watched me play Dark Souls 2. She was really interested, but she didn't want to touch it.
I'm sure that the kiddos are going to love that game when they get to, the giant cats that turn into Sonic. And there's what... Ceaseless Discharge, the giant scorpion centipede man. With the best name.
You can't hit him.
Oh, I gotta go fight Ceaseless Discharge. Here we go.
Fighting Ceaseless Discharge. Story of my life.
You can't fight Ceaseless Discharge. You have to accept it. You have to bond with it. You have to just let it become part of your life. Understand that Ceaseless Discharge is a constant. It will happen no matter if you want it to happen or not. And you just have to live with that. I don't think we're talking about Dark Souls.
No, we're not anymore.
No, we were. Yeah, of course not.
But I mean, if you have problems, we might have helped you a little bit.
We played Doki Doki Literature Club, Hanky Panky Dong Touch, whatever you want to call it. That was the name that one of us came up for. It was because it became you play that game and it's a dating simulator, and I hate dating simulators.
I thought it was cute.
To
but
each
dating
their own.
simulators aren't my thing.
I like the characters; they're all fleshed out and stuff like that. But like, I hate just pressing the enter button.
Yeah.
I don't know. It got so monotonous, and you pretty much have to do that like 4 days in a row until something happens that's kind of interesting. So a lot of it was just like pressing the enter key, and then when I figured out I had to do it a second time, I was kind of mad at the game almost, because I don't know. It's not my type of video game. It's a great game. It's got a great concept, which I won't spoil, but it's not my type of game.
Some of the close-ups were really, really lewd and like,
Some of them, yeah, they're a bit, lock your door for this one. Make sure grandma's not gonna come into your room or anything like that.
Oh, my dude. My shirt's too tight. I gotta unbutton it a little bit.
Yeah, if you name your character My Dude, everybody sounds like they're from Woodstock. It's great. It's really good. They're all just like, my dude, how you doing?
I love the ending so much when she calls you your real name.
Yeah, so, I guess...
we probably shouldn't spoil it.
Spoilers, skip 30 seconds ahead, starting now. You get to the end of the game, and the character starts talking to you, and she looks at your Steam account, and she'll read your real name to you. She was like, my dude, or should I say, and then she'll say your name. My Steam name is like a joke. I can't say exactly what it is.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, it just says Sonic the Hedgehog, and so she read it as that, and it was the funniest thing. Because it was supposed to be this, like, really deep moment of, like, we know who you are, Nolan. And it's like, oh! But instead it was like, we know who you are, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, so that game's fun. Welcome back if you skipped ahead 30 seconds. I don't think that was exactly 30 seconds.
I think that was longer.
It was pretty close. They're going to get that end part still.
Yeah, I mean, at least they won't figure out, like, the...
They won't figure out the ending that... No, I won't say it. I was going to say it as a joke, but I might actually ruin it. Just play the game. It's free on Steam. And you don't even have to delete it afterwards. It deletes itself, so you're good. Well, not really.
You still have to delete it. Yeah.
You have to delete it, but it's easy. Anyways, okay. I have another topic for you guys. Now...
Are we done with video games?
No, we're still on video games.
Okay.
What do you think was going to happen, James?
Video
We're going to
games are
not
life.
talk about video games?
Games are life. Game is life.
I need this. I need this. No, but, so, you guys are interested in a lot of franchises outside video games, right? I would assume.
Yeah,
I would assume. Everybody's a little well-versed in everything. If you had to choose, like, one franchise to make a video game about, I guess, like, open world or whatever style you want it to be, what would it be and why?
Skip me, please.
Okay, Daniel, if you had to make one. I have two, so if you guys need time to think of something, like, I can pause this and we can think of it.
Oh, well, yeah, I kind of need time to think of something.
I'll explain my first one, and then you can go.
Okay.
You can't go to the bathroom until I tell you. I would love to see some form of, like, good Power Rangers video game. All we see is...
I was going to say that.
All we've ever seen is, like, really shitty fighting games, and, like, one side-scroller where every Power Ranger is just a reskin of the other one. Like, the girls are all just the Red Ranger reskinned, everyone. They don't have different helmets or anything, and they all kind of suck. Okay. I want to see either a good, like... I want to see them do what they did with Injustice. I want them to do, like, a Power Rangers fighting game, and just have, like, an all-star cast. Just have a roster of, like, everyone or something.
Can I stop you just for like half a second to
Yeah.
say I thought about Power Rangers, but you said what did we want to see in the video game?
You don't want to see Power Rangers.
So yeah, go ahead again.
That was
I'm
it.
Just saying.
I just want a fun beat 'em up with, like, even do a beat 'em up side scroller thing. Do like a, not God of War. I'm trying to think of a different one. Do like one where you've got like 5 lives in a stage or something, and like you can switch between them or something. You can switch between the different rangers or something, and then if you lose a life, that ranger's gone, and then you get to be the other 4 or whatever. And the villain can be Rita, and you can even do like your own interpretation. I want to see someone. The movie was okay. The movie was decent. Did anybody else see the new movie? It was okay.
No.
It was weird. I liked the idea of it because they made them seem less like people in spandex and more like they're like wearing weird alien armor, and it looks fine because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a charm to the original. I like seeing people's interpretations where it's like still the body suits, but there's like armor over it. I want to see someone do their own complete reinvention with a new story. Do it like they did. They did comic books about Power Rangers recently by Boom Comics, I think. Boom or Kaboom, it's one of them. I bought a subscription to them, and it's the original show. It's like everything's the same, all the designs, everything, but it's set in like modern day. So it's like we have technology and iPhones and stuff like that, but it's like it just takes itself more seriously. Like there's still the weird Power Rangers, and they still fight all these goofy monsters, but instead of being like, it's a giant pumpkin. What the fuck? Whatever, punch him. It's like, this guy's destroying the city. There's 100 people dead. We have to stop him. Rita's going to kill the president. It's like just real stuff. I don't know. I want to see that. I want to see someone do that. Just make a good Power Rangers game. You can base it on Mighty Morphin. You can do your own team. Do your original team. Whatever. There's like 1 billion Power Rangers. Base it on one of the old shows. That would be cool. Okay, so the very first Power Rangers... Okay.
Be so bad.
I know. 1 minute. The very first show, I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Go Ranger or something. It was the one, I got him up on a shelf up there. It was like the very first show. I want to see them do that because it's one that America hasn't had. Just make that into like a AAA game.
Alright.
That's it, James.
Alright, I gotta whoop you.
Okay, I'll pause this. We'll be back. It's recording. We're good.
We are back.
We took a break. We ate pasta, and now we're back. We all thought it over a little bit, and I'm sure you guys have some answers. What would you like to see turned into a video game?
Right when my mind blanks. Gosh dang.
I got it. Well, I don't think of any series that comes to mind, but I would really like to see an actual horror game that's not just jump scares. Something where
Impossible.
something where the environments are just genuinely creepy, the characters themselves are genuinely creepy, and they're not just jump scares. Just something like that. The whole atmosphere, it just like keeps you in suspense. Even after you're done playing it, you don't feel safe in your own home. Something like that.
It's hard to find video games that really unnerve you like that. Even, I mean, like, the Outlast games are a recent example of something that was pretty creepy, but none of it lasted with me. I don't remember any of it. It was either... I know that it had some genuinely creepy bits. None of it stuck with me for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
They might stick with other people, but just not with me.
It seemed... Oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
It seemed creepy because you can't fight back. You only can run. That was pretty creepy. So, like, every time you saw somebody, you can't just like, oh, I'm going to fight them. You have to actually run away and hide and then hope that they don't see you.
If you had to turn something into a video game, James, what would it be?
A series?
Yeah. We had the one example out there of a show that you are watching at the moment that you really like, and we started talking about it.
A Fist of the North Star?
Yeah.
A video game for that. That'd be pretty cool. I just don't want them to turn it into like a one-piece fighting game.
Right.
Or like, no, sorry, a Dragon Ball fighting game where it's just like Tekken.
Like a 1v1. You'd
Yeah.
rather have like a beat 'em up series.
Yeah, I haven't played any of One Piece. I haven't played any of the Attack on Titan games. But I know they're kind of open world. I want like a world that's just completely open, not level based.
That would be really fun.
For Fist of the North Star. You
Good.
gotta change his outfits.
Now, does that what is the main story arc for the first season? What is his goal that he has to accomplish at the end of the season?
Well, he dies, but then he comes back.
Okay.
You have to watch it.
The goal is death.
Is the beginning of the show like right when he wakes up after being dead or something?
Yeah, he's just wandering in the desert and he passes out, but then he sees his wife, or his fiancée, Yuria. And so he just spends the rest of the first season trying to go find her because his friend Shin betrayed him, killed him, and took his girlfriend.
Okay.
Uria.
There you go.
So he kills Shin, and Yuria is still nowhere to be found.
It's like
Urea
it's the classic.
is like the name of that stuff that's in your digestive system before you poop it out.
Is that what it is?
That's what I mean. If you say it the right way, you said urea, but it's like pronounced urea. If you mean it that way.
I did not know that. Now
So it's kind of a suckish name if you think about it.
Thank you, Daniel.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Off topic.
That's it's the classic like save the princess video game, but at the end it's like there's no happy story sometimes. Sometimes you just don't get what you're looking for. You can't just beat up the bad guy and that's it. It's like what Wonder Woman's moral should have been, but instead she fights a big monster at the end.
Sometimes the bad guy wins. That's the video game we need.
Yeah.
But yeah, a game like Fist of the North Star. I haven't seen the rest of it, so I don't know if anything bad happens, but a game where you're just like a full open world, you're helping people, and if they made it really good, that'd be great.
You're saying you want Fist of the North Star, but Dark Souls?
I was thinking about it, and that'd be really hard to do.
Different fighting mechanics, maybe.
Different fighting mechanics. They could do so much with the combat system because he has to constantly change his fighting style to like the situation.
Right.
And so that would make it a challenge for the players. And that'd be pretty cool.
See, I imagine like you run around fighting guys and you just have like your regular punches and kicks, but you can do like combos and stuff. Yeah. And maybe you've got like a charge meter or something, and then once that's full you can do his like famous like you're already dead attack.
But like in this one,
and then everything's just a one-hit punch, and you hit them, and then they stay stunned, and then they explode behind you or something.
Like I don't want them to die after one hit, because like that'd be really boring.
That shouldn't be all of them. No, I think that should be like a special move.
Yeah.
It's back to the Superman thing of how playing as Superman in a game would be really boring.
I know. I like this one because even if like he gets hit, it still shows, and he still feels it.
Yeah, he's a human, right?
Yeah, he's human.
How did he come back to life?
We're not too sure. Actually, it's not really sure if he died or not.
Oh.
They keep saying that he went to hell, but then he came back.
Oh, so maybe he just got really injured and then woke up.
The devil gave him his soul and he came back.
Well, okay.
I'm kidding. I don't know if that's real or
that could be real. I was just gonna trust you on that, James. You could have just let it be.
But that'd be so cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I haven't played Neo at all, but I know you have different fighting styles. Like you could hold the weapon a certain way. And that's with every single weapon.
Maybe
I'm thinking you could do that with Kenshiro.
Maybe change like his martial arts form or something.
Yeah, he actually does that too. It's not just he doesn't just use the North Star techniques all the time. Sometimes he uses like South Star techniques.
What are the North Star and South Star techniques? Are they just made up things?
Yeah,
they're just made them up to sound cool, probably.
It's like North Side and South Side.
Yeah, exactly.
The North Star they're both assassination martial arts, so everything they do it's almost instant kill.
Oh, interesting.
But,
he was like an assassin or something?
Yeah, the North Star, it's they have a soul succession, so only one person can learn the martial art. So like they'll have like a group of people learn it, but only one can be the successor, and the successor has to either kill everybody else or seal their fists.
That is pretty cool.
And so Kenshiro was a successor, and his brothers didn't like that, so they turned on him. And the rest of the story is him fighting the other brothers.
So, Fist of the North Star as a beat-em-up, kind of open world, Dark Souls-ish game.
Dark Souls.
That sounds good. And you kind of can help people with side quests and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. What did you think of, Daniel?
Well, me, it was really hard to think something up. I was still, my mind went directly back to Spider-Man, but I already know that's something that was, already done. That's already a video game. I just think it could be done better. That's
a good one.
As far as like other other possible franchises, I was thinking along the lines of certain characters, namely the Flash. I thought they don't really have a game for that. I know they have really good a Netflix series, right?
Well,
I haven't even gotten quite into it yet, but I really want to. I've heard that it's the best thing ever.
I think that show's from the CW. I don't know how many seasons they have now, but yeah, that show's good. I've watched up to the second season, I believe.
So
I didn't watch after that.
Maybe they can make a game based on the Netflix series, you know, with that kind of storyline involved. And I thought they hadn't even thought of it. Evidently, Nolan was telling me during the break that they did try and do that, but it got canceled for
it wasn't based on the CW show. It was based just on the Flash. It had some, I don't remember if it was to promote something or not. It was going to be on like GameCube, I believe. Oh. I'm probably wrong about that, but it was a Flash, and depending on how you can go different speeds, and you can slow down time because you're fast and stuff like that. But it's like an open world. It was all of Star City, and not Star City. Is it Star City? Might be Star City. It's wherever the Flash is.
Wherever he is.
And yeah, you just have to run around and stop things, and then there was a big twist at the end, but I can't remember what it was for the life of me.
Well,
you can find footage of it though.
Regardless whether they canceled it or not, it would be a good game if it finally, like, if it came out.
Would you want to see something similar to that? Do you want to just see like the open world thing, or?
Well, the open world thing would be nice, but I kind of want to get more of the story out of Flash, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't think very many people, like, know about the Flash as much as they do, like, you know, the more common characters that are made into games.
Yeah, because Flash is a cool hero. He's fun. I think that running around like an open world, or not necessarily like open, but just like a huge world like that, because it would need to be huge for him. Because you go so fast, of course, but like that would be fun. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then there's another, like, if we're talking about the Netflix series here, then there's also the Arrow or whatever.
And I think that one's also a CW show. But yeah, that show is great.
That it kind of like, and they have crossover events too, so they're like the same universe, I think.
Yeah.
They could make a video game out of that. In fact, I know nothing about the Arrow, so if I'm saying it right, like, the Arrow.
That would be a good way to introduce someone, you're saying.
It would just be motion controls.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Oh goodness, they bring back the Wii remote and nunchuck. Arrow for the Kinect.
It's only on VR.
They got Arrow for the iToy for the PlayStation 2, guys.
Yeah, what?
So remember the iToy?
The iToy.
It was like cameras you'd set up. They got Arrow for that. How about that? Let's do that.
That was so glitchy, wasn't it?
It didn't work.
Like,
There's this game where you had to, like, I don't remember what game it was. I just remember one of the mini games is, like, there's flies and you have to, like clap and, like, smash them. And, like, it never worked, ever. Never did it work.
So, like I said, I don't know anything about it. So, what is this Arrow guy? Is he like
Oliver Queen? He's like.
Is he just like some kind of version of Hawkeye?
He's very similar to Batman. He's a millionaire, but his story is that he was on a boat and he basically crashes and ends up on this island where he's stranded for like a couple of years. And in order to survive, he has to learn to hunt in the wild. So he makes a bow and arrow, and he gets, like, extremely good with it, like, impossibly good with it. And eventually, help comes and finds him, and takes him back to his life as a millionaire, or whatever. And after that, he gets kind of bored and decides that he's going to become a vigilante and clean up the city. So he becomes the Arrow, or Green Arrow.
Okay, so he's like a cross between freaking Hawkeye and Batman.
Yeah, so kind of, yeah.
Didn't his parents die too?
I believe his parents are dead, yeah. I think every superhero's parents are dead. Like...
Yeah.
I think the only ones that aren't dead are, like, Superman's adopted parents. And even then, I think Pa Kent, like, dies occasionally.
So, maybe
from time to time.
He's supposed to die of a heart attack, right?
Yeah, he dies... I think he dies of a heart attack, and then in Man of Steel, it's like a tornado that destroys the town, and he's like, don't save me, son. And instead of Superman... We're gonna get on to Man of Steel. Instead of Superman being like, I'm Superman, I will save you regardless, because I love you, he's like, okay... bye, Dad. And it lets his dad die.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, Man of Steel sucked. That's right.
So, but anyways, I don't know really about the game mechanics for a guy that just shoots arrows, I guess, but
Third-person shooter, I guess.
I guess,
With, like, close combat?
All I'm trying to say here is, you know, I don't really know much about these characters. It would be great to know more about them, and between, you know, the Arrow and Flash, between the two, there's a whole world of stuff that they just haven't even thought about yet, that they could go anywhere with a video game, you know? So, I guess that's my franchise that I want to make into a video game.
Now,
One of the two.
over the break, I thought of an extra one, so I have 3.
Oh,
So, like,
Nice.
I want a Hellboy game that's, like, really good. As far as I know, there's one Hellboy video game for the PlayStation 1, and it sucks ass. It's, like, tank controls for Hellboy, so instead of moving freely, you have to stop and then, like, pivot, and then it's, like, it looks horrible. The like, your hits hardly register on things. I don't think anything ever permanently dies. I think it all comes back to life. I might be wrong about that. I want to see a good Hellboy. We were using Dark Souls as an example again. I was telling him, like, he should just be trapped in a crypt, and there's, like, some big monster guy you have to defeat. But, like, along the way, there's all these other mini-bosses or whatever that are, like, still fun. And, I don't know, you're Hellboy. It's beat 'em up. You can use your fist if you want. Maybe, depending on different places you go to, you can, like, upgrade yourself. Maybe, like, you can find weapons along the way. I mean, Hellboy doesn't just use his fist. He carries swords. He has guns. So that would be interesting. I want to see something with similar beat-em-up mechanics to Dark Souls, but with the openness and, like
kind of like the graphics of Agony.
I want to see it done specifically in the comic book style, though. Like, realistic graphics are great. I want to see them try to replicate Mike Mignola's art style. Have you ever seen what the comic books of Hellboy look like? I have got to find a cover. Oh, wait, here. Like that. They look like that. They're all really blocky. I would just flip through it a few times. They're all, like, really dark. I want to see someone replicate this, like, with a cel-shaded look.
I just saw, like, this in the beginning, and it kind of looked like a samurai. Like, Samurai Jack had the same pose.
That's funny. Hellboy has had, like, a samurai sword before. I think there was a movie called Hellboy, Sword of Storms, I think. It was, like, an animated movie. But, yeah, it gets, like, a legendary katana that can, like, wield lightning or something crazy. I don't know. I just want to see Hellboy, like, in a very good video game. Even if they made it realistic, I want them to make him look like how he looked in Injustice 2. Like, have you seen how he looks in that game?
Okay. I know he's in it, but I haven't seen it.
They did an interpretation of him that was... He's like... It's that Mario Odyssey approach, where he's, like, still weird looking, but he's, like, realistically textured. He's a little more... Let me find what a picture of him looks like.
Also...
He's, like... He still has that, like, weird face design, but he just looks, like, really good.
Also, like, I know, like, we're done talking about, like, game design and such, but I really do like the Japanese art style, like how there's, like, cherry blossom trees everywhere. I recently bought Neo. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. Oh, that's cool. I like how small his legs are.
Yeah, his legs are, like, notoriously skinny in the comics, so they kept him like that, which is cool. But, yeah, what about Neo?
Well, like, I bought Neo, and it's basically Japanese Dark Souls, if you look at it. But it's not completely Dark Souls. But it just looks so pretty. I really love the art style on that. It's like, you know, the
cherry blossom trees.
The cherry blossom trees, the round lanterns. And I don't know, just that type of art style is really appealing to me. And I wanted to talk about it because, like, the Samurai Hellboy.
I'm thinking, could they do anything? Do they have an Initial D video game? They must, right? They must have at least one. I'm sure they have at least one. But
I don't know.
I would love a drifting game of Initial D, like that just is like the first season or something. Initial D. Yeah. Initial D video game. What did it do? LD video game. No, I said Initial D video game. Yeah, here we go. They got a couple. They got, like, some from like 20. They got one from 2014.
Oh, wow.
Initial D Arcade Stage 8 Infinite. Yeah, it's pretty much just a driving game. Yeah, I don't know what I expected. It's a drifting racing game. That's the only thing they can do with it, which is fine.
It's like Crash Nitro.
I want a good Hellboy. The final idea I had, unless somebody else has an idea, but the final idea I had, this also kind of ties into the dream thing. I had a dream one night that like EA didn't fuck up a game, okay? Improbable, I know. They didn't mess up Battlefront 2, okay? So they were like, they're like announcing all these characters one night. I don't remember what it was. It was like some Star Wars characters that didn't even exist. They were like, or like really obscure ones. They're like, we got Anakin Solo from the expanded universe. Here's Sidan Ithano from the one scene in The Force Awakens. It was like all these characters, and then it gets to the end of the night, and they're like, but we have one more special announcement. And of course, it was like, this dream was from the perspective of like the camera that you normally see at like the EA footage, you know? Yeah. Or not EA, like E3 footage. But then the screen goes black, and EA, it's like the Star Wars Battlefront, and they're like on a desert planet, right? And they're all battling, and it's like, you expect it to be like Tatooine or something. And then, like, a sandworm just comes out of nowhere and, like, destroyed all these stormtroopers. And it was, like, announcing Star Wars X Dune or something DLC. And so it was DLC of, like, a bunch of Dune characters. So you could be, like, Paul Atreides or, like...
The Dune series.
Yeah, the books. Okay. It was so bizarre. It was, like... It was the weirdest dream. But it was, like, when I was really into the books. And so it was, like, they, like, designed all the characters and stuff based on, like, Mobius artwork. Mm-hmm. So all the characters had, like, these, like, really colorful, like, weird outfits. And you could play as all of them. It was just a cool idea that, like, obviously would never exist in real life. But that got me thinking, like, I want a Dune game really bad.
That kind of makes me think of, like, just a real-life simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, just doing manual stuff in a video game. Not like The Sims, but, like, one where you have to actually, like... make sure your guy's eating, you have to wake up and do all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty cool. It's first person and all that, without janky controls. Like the looking around is responsive. Like, if you want to interact with stuff, that's responsive.
Right.
I don't want, like a game where it's first person and then you're just all over the place because, like, the controls are just so bad.
Yeah.
Just like one where you do manual stuff.
I don't want a first person Dune, though.
Dune?
Dune. I was just saying, like, they got me thinking I wanted, like, a Dune movie. Or not a Dune movie. They made that, and it was weird. It wasn't bad, but it was really weird. I was saying I want a Dune video game, like a AAA.
Oh, was that the thing you were going to say? Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say I wanted, like, a Dune video game that's, like... It doesn't even have to be about, like, the main story. Just have it set in, like, the Dune universe. Just maybe explore, like, Arrakis and all of its weird stuff. Like, maybe, like, if you go in the sand, like, you'll attract sandworms, so you have to, like, stay on the rocks, like in the books. But they should just make it... Because there's so much in that universe. Like, besides just the desert planet, there's, Frank Herbert really thought out the universe. There's, like... The Emperor has his own planet. The Harkonnens have their own planet that's just, like, a horrible, like, slave world, and, like, they watch slaves, like, fight to the death in arenas and stuff. It's a very weird idea of the future. It's like, do you guys know what Dune is about? Do you want me?
I think you told me a little bit.
It's weird. It's like, so...
No, can you have me a water, please?
Yes, of course. Here's a water. We're sponsored by Smart Water. This is the... Listen to the pot. Listen to the wrinklage. It's like screaming. There you go.
At me.
Sorry.
We're not actually sponsored by Smart Water. We're not trying to get sued here.
Don't sue us. Okay, but it's like in the future, there's humanity made a bunch of robots, and then robots all rise up against us. So we have a big war with the robots that nearly wipes us all out, but we get rid of all of them. And so the rule in the future is you must never make a machine in the likeness of a human or something that is made to imitate humans. So there's no computers, essentially. There's spaceships, but all the calculations are done by people, which they call mentats, which are like people who are just trained from like very young children to be super smart. They can do things in their mind. They're strategists and all that type of stuff. Very weird. There's also like a group of essentially they're kind of like the Jedi, but they're like evil. So they're called the Bene Gesserit. They're like a school of like essentially space witches. They were like the main inspiration for the Jedi, but they have the power to like control you with their voice, and they believe they only train women, and they believe that one day the perfect combination of DNA will come together, and one of their women will give birth to a messiah, essentially, which they call the what is it? The Kwisatz Haderach. They've got these like weird. Everything is weirdly named, but essentially, then there's Paul, and Paul is the son of a duke, which are people who like rule planets, essentially. The Harkonnens get kicked off the planet Arrakis by the Emperor, and Paul's family moves in. The thing with planet Arrakis is that it's like a complete desert. It's like almost inhospitable. There's no water. Everybody has to wear suits that like recapture the water that your body wastes, because it's like liquid gold out there, pretty much. This planet is important because it's the only place in the galaxy where they can find the spice, which is like what they use to fuel their ships, and it's what people use. They use it as a drug, and they use it as like to put in food. The spice is like a drug that opens your mind to the universe almost. So people use it too much, they become like they're able to like open rifts in time and stuff like that. It's very weird. But essentially that's why this planet is so important. So the Harkonnens get kicked out, and the Harkonnens have this long time feud with the Atreides, which is Paul's family. So they get kicked out, Paul moves in, and then the Harkonnens like, we're not taking this, so they go back in and they kill his dad, and they take over the planet, and Paul and his mom are like stranded in the desert. At the same time, Paul was trained to be a Mentat. His mom is a Bene Gesserit, and he happens to be this messiah that they're all talking about. So he's the one that's supposed to like, I believe the Bene Gesserit want him to like claim the universe and like save them, but like instead he just kind of becomes the emperor, and he sees how evil the Bene Gesserit are, and he pretty much destroys the whole universe, and that's the end of the first book, kind of. It's like eventually he messes up really bad and he kind of becomes evil. It's very weird, but there's all this stuff of like, there's people who live in the desert called the Freemen. There's the giant sandworms, which are like the people of the desert, like they believe, they call it like their god, essentially.
I can imagine like giant sandworms in the art style of Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I want to see that. There's this game called Star Citizen. Who knows when it's coming out? They may have a demo out for it. It's an open world space game, like No Man's Sky, but it's supposed to be good, okay? So the thing is, they built this engine for this game where you can seamlessly go from being in space to the ground. As you go, it like renders in everything in real time. That way you can, it's no like loading time in between going into space and going to the planet or whatever. It's just like you can slowly go down to the planet and you'll be able to land. It's cool. And they have like whole planets planned out. But in one of the trailers, they show a sandworm. It's not directly from Dune, but it's like a desert planet, and there's a sandworm and stuff. I imagine it kind of like that. Like, I don't know if it would be a first person or more of like a third person. I kind of imagine more of like a Breath of the Wild thing. It's like just survive. Try to survive. Try to maybe, I don't know, you could be Paul or something. Just try to survive on Arrakis or something. I just want to see a really good Dune video game. You can even have it where you go from planet to planet. You could have it linear. Like, go to Giedi Prime or wherever the other planets are and like explore, because there's like city planets and stuff like that. It's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars, but without a good movie. That's it. That's the only difference.
I remember you told me the movie.
I want a Dune movie. That's it. I want a new... Well, they're making a new Dune movie, but I want a Dune video game. They're making a new Dune movie. The guy who directed Blade Runner 2049 in that movie, Arrival, with Amy Adams. Did you hear about that?
I saw that.
You hear about the new Blade Runner? Okay. Yeah, essentially he's going to be directing a Dune movie at some point. I don't remember what his name is. Blade Runner 2049 director. Denis Villeneuve. Yeah. he's going to be directing a Dune movie, and I'm excited for that, and I'm hoping we get some kind of AAA tie-in out of that, because I want more stuff set in the Dune universe. The only thing that we've gotten is, like, a crap TV show on Sci-Fi, a movie from the 80s that is ambitious but falls short, a canceled movie which ended up getting a documentary about it, which the documentary is probably the most fascinating thing to come out of the Dune franchise. And then in the 90s we had, you know, those old like FMV games where the cutscenes are like live action?
Yeah.
They had a Dune, like, I think it was like a strategy game, and it looks... it's what you'd expect from an FMV game. It's like, have you seen those Star Wars FMV games from the time?
I haven't.
They're the best.
Also, like, this is just like going back to like video games and such. I really like when a game has a really heavy lore, but it's not forced.
That's what yeah.
Dragon Age is an example of, it has heavy lore, but it's forced.
Yeah, and it's like trying to cram all this stuff down your throat.
Yeah.
I hate that. I think that there's when it comes to screenwriting, at least the age-old passages show don't tell. Like, you know how there'll be parts in movies where it's like, I love you, Dad, and he's like, I'm sorry, I love you too, my son, who is an only child. I'm sorry that your mother died exactly 2 years ago, that we are now in poverty and we live on the streets, and you're only 12 years old.
Like, without exposition, I get it.
It's like, you're like, no human talks like that. Never once would I go up to my brother and be like, hello, brother.
Who was born 17 years ago. And
It's the exact same principle with games like that, where it's like, it crams it down your throat.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to know this to know this.
Yeah, Dragon Age, like, everything you pick up, it goes into your codex, which you can read later, and it tells you all the lore. But it's just so far out there and so forced. It just says so many names, and you don't know who they are unless you play all the games and you really follow everything that's going on.
Now, it's different depending on what style you go for. Like, I mean, books, they can get away with that, because they can just be like, the world 2,000 years ago was, and they can tell the whole story or whatever.
Yeah, because they have to paint the picture in your head without showing anything.
Yeah.
With only the words, so that's understandable, but in video games, there's really no excuse.
The only way I can see it working is if you went for a comedic angle, and it's like the character like pauses the game and he's like, all right, here's what's happening, like Emperor's New Groove. That's the only way I can really see that working if you're trying to get a lot of exposition out of the way. Like the opening crawl in Star Wars.
Fourth wall breaks.
Yeah. The opening crawl in Star Wars is like... It does a good job of establishing what's happening. Like in the very first one, where it's like... The Empire has risen, the rebels are trying to stop them. It's like, got it. It's like, the Jedi are gone. You're like, cool, I understand. I don't need to know what the Jedi are. I can assume what the Jedi are. They're good guys. And then as it goes along, you learn things about what's going on. They're like, this is a lightsaber, and he turns on the lightsaber, and he's like, the weapon of the Jedi. And you're like, okay, I know what the Jedi did now. And then he talks about the Force, and then he shows you the Force, and it's stuff like that. It's like, they need to do a good... If they could do a Dune video game, it needs to be like, you start out, maybe have like... This is why I don't think it would work based on the book. Because the first book... It's a lot of build-up. It takes a long time to establish everything that's going on. Like, not the first half, but a lot of the book is him, like, just before he gets lost in the desert. And explaining, like, what Mentats are, and, like, what the Bene Gesserit are, and what the Kwisatz Haderach is, and what everybody wants, why the Harkonnens hate them, what the Harkonnens do. It's like, there's so much stuff, and I don't think that would work. I think the best way to do it is just to be like, Arrakis, the desert planet. Here the spice melange is harvested to power our ships. Home to the mighty sandworms and the Fremen of the desert. It's like, and this is where we find you. And then it's like, I know where I am. There I am. And then it's like, survive.
Kind of like, I don't know how many times we said Dark Souls, but like Dark Souls, they say like a little brief, and then you're just in it. They don't do any more cutscenes where they do exposition. It's just, this is what's going on, and you're in it. And that's it. And you have to piece everything together. It has such a heavy lore, you have to piece everything together by reading It's not forced at all.
No.
If you just want to play the game, you can play the game.
And it makes you want to explore that stuff, which is good.
Yeah, and if you want to learn about everything, you can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game like that is perfect. We should just name this podcast the
Dark Souls Obsession by James Del
Dark
Quadro.
Souls podcast.
My Dark Souls Addiction.
That's it. That should
Name
be
it that.
The story of James Del Quadro, the addiction of Dark Souls.
James Del Quadro, Downfall. Yeah, I think that's why Dune would work as a video game, though, is because it is so interesting. Like,
Yeah.
Should I have
they were
said your
the
full name on podcast? I'm
I
sorry.
already did.
we've said it before.
Yeah, I did
They
in
know
my
who we
first
are.
episode.
Yeah.
Besides, they can't really do much with James Del Quadro.
I put your social security in the description.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's whatever.
111
At least
505,
they don't know that my
505,
name is really
505.
Jacob
That's it.
Tarantino.
That's someone, statistically, that's someone's,
Do you think 111 is actually someone?
yeah, do you think some guy, some unfortunate soul got that and they're like, what's his social security? And they're like, I don't know, just enter one a bunch, and they just happen to get it. They're like, cool.
What are the odds?
Like, I'm pretty sure it's not possible because they can't make it that obvious.
No,
but-
because they'd have to match the name and everything.
Yeah. So I hope it's not. I hope it's not.
No, it wouldn't work, I
Well,
don't
it's
think.
just like no one's phone number is 11111 or 222 or something.
No, because there's always the area code and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why Dune would work, though, because it is so interesting. Like, they were the ones who came up with the idea of, like, having sandworms.
Yeah.
Frank Herbert created the still suits, which are used to harvest water. He made up, like, the Kry's knives and the Fremen, and there's all these things that are just so cool that I just want to see adapted right. Like, I really want to see them adapted right. Because outside of the books, we don't have a lot.
Tangent.
What?
I kind of want to go on a tangent.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I guess I was just thinking in my head, well, maybe phone numbers didn't quite apply in that situation, but maybe they do. Maybe they do, because, I mean, sure, phone numbers have an area code, which is why that can't happen.
Yeah.
I just thought it was because they literally can't make, like, they decided not to make the phone number. But
That
no,
could
it's
be the
based on
last,
an area
like-
code. Well, maybe social security numbers are based on a thing, too. Little conspiracy. Maybe they're based on your gender or your family history or your not gender but like race maybe.
I know, like,
You know what I'm saying?
some of the numbers deal with, like, where you were born, like the district or something like that. I don't know what the rest of the numbers stand for.
Yeah, like what if
Fascinating.
what if the fourth number in your social security number is a number for your race, and then the fifth number is like a number for your great grandmother's race or something?
I don't
That
think
would
it
be
goes
an
that
interesting
deep.
way of classifying people, but also extremely ineffective, I think.
I don't think it would go that deep because then statistically there would be someone that would have the same social security as someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It
just
could
bound
happen.
to happen.
I think
so,
it's like your district, random numbers.
probably.
And that's why Dune should be a video game.
Yeah.
When are they
Back to
going to
Dune.
make Smash Bros. Into a video game? That's
I
all I
know,
want.
I
I just am
know.
wondering when they're going to put... You know what video... I think I just want Smash on the Switch more than anything.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I just want to get The Witcher 3 Complete Edition and Shadow of War the Complete Edition. And then I need to beat I have 13 games I need to beat. Shall I read my list?
13 you need to beat right now?
Actually, I think it's 15. Let me check.
Jeez.
You know what game I want to play that I never got the chance to play?
Huh.
Super, I think it's called Super Fancy Pants Adventure.
Oh yeah, that game. It was like your little stick man. It's like a platformer, right?
It is.
It's like a parkour game. I love
But
those.
it's so fun and bouncy though. Like it's like no other game like ever done, because you just have it's just the way the controls are and the way your character moves.
I remember that and what is it? Playing. You guys remember the game called N? It was the same thing. You're like a stick man that has to platform around all these levels, but it's like a million times. It's like Meat Boy. It's like super difficult. That and Fancy Pants I remember a lot. Those are good.
Fancy Pants is really good. I saw Jacksepticeye play it. I've mentioned him twice this podcast. Anyway,
We've mentioned Dark Souls so many more times. It's okay.
you know what? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no one can compare to James's obsession with Dark
Every
Souls.
10 minutes, there's a Dark Souls reference. It's so fun, man. You just
But yeah,
play
so
it.
I saw him play it, and then I bought the game on Steam, right? And the controls are terrible, like for the PC. So you actually have to get a controller if you want to play it well. The only problem is I didn't have a controller for it. But that kind of sucks. Like, it's got the weirdest PC controls. It make no sense. And it doesn't allow you to reorient them. Which
There's
is
no
terrible.
key bindings.
No key bindings, exactly. All games should have key bindings. Anyone listening that might be, you know, like a person for Steam or whatever, only tell all of your creators for games to only make games with key binding abilities, like, so that you can change it up if you want to, because...
It's hard to program.
Okay, then fine. Make your games not suck. Like, have suckish controls.
Too.
You know, EA made some pretty good Battlefront demos. I'd love to see those made into full-length games.
They made demos?
Yeah, they made Battlefront 1 and 2. Remember, they were demos, though. They were like 4 levels, I think. Like 2 characters. I would love to see those made as full games.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that would be great. If only. I don't think we'll ever get another good Star Wars game, ever. Too bad.
I get it. 2
more ideas. Make a Mario movie video game, a game based on the movie, but make it like one of those weird like platformers from the 90s that were like based on movies. You know how when they would make a movie from the 90s, it was on the Super Nintendo as a game, and it was always like a platformer where you shoot something at like enemies? Do that. Do that with Mario. You're like John Leguizamo or Bob Hoskins, and you can switch between the two. It's like it's the most... Not the worst. It's probably fun, but it's like the strangest Mario game ever because it's like a side-scrolling like shooter.
You know how they
You throw wrenches or something.
You know how they updated Mario Odyssey for the Switch?
Yes.
Or just in general? Well, they should just make it to where you could be Danny DeVito as Mario.
I think that's all that I want.
I want that. And then I would play the game so much more. I would actually enjoy getting all the moons, all 830 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I would restart my game right now.
Just to play as
if
Danny
they had
DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Is it like a cartoon Danny DeVito, or is it just like regular?
Just full Danny DeVito.
And you can
Isn't
get
it-
his like trash man outfit. You can dress him up as
No, just him in the Mario outfit, which is Danny DeVito.
got his Hercules costume.
I just want Danny DeVito in the game.
Yeah.
I thought there were like 999 moons.
No, just
There's-
like 150 or 30 or something.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Maybe you have to unlock something or buy something.
You can buy the moons. I think that kind of messes it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Because you
No,
still
you
have to collect the moons.
Yeah, you still have to buy them, but they only count as one pretty
Yeah.
much. It's like you can only buy. I think you can only buy like 99 per kingdom, or I think it's different per kingdom how many you buy.
Okay.
You can still keep buying them, but it's like
Yeah.
you can't. It doesn't do anything after a certain number. It'll only go to like 99 and then it won't stop. And it'll have the number next to the moon on the list.
Okay.
And I want following that crappy like 90s SNES like side scrolling like like video game based on something. I really wish that they had made like a crappy X-Files video game where you're like Mulder or Scully like on a little side scroller and like shoot your gun and the enemies are all like vampires or like leech men or something good, and then you have to fight the smoking man at the end of each level, and he like flies around on a UFO, something like that. I want that with like the little cutscenes that are just like JPEGs from the film, from like the show, but like the pixelized, you know. I want that. That's all I want.
Did they ever make a B-movie video game?
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
Did they really?
Did Jerry
Yes.
Seinfeld actually voice it?
Yeah.
Oh, he
No.
did?
Yeah. Yes, actually, I think so. Yeah, they got Jerry Seinfeld, the voice in the B-movie game.
What the hell? That's crazy.
I'm not sure if it was just voice clips from the movie, because I haven't seen the movie in like 5 years. I saw that in theaters.
I'm actually
I was not
curious, like,
disappointed.
what it's about. Like, if it
It's
followed
pretty
the
good.
actual movie or
I'm just
not.
mad that George Costanza wasn't in it.
George, they missed out. His best friend could have been played by
know. 'Cause he still has,
David
like, this-
Alexander.
He still sounds the same.
Jerry, Jerry, what are you doing, Jerry? I want it so bad. I want that. It's just Seinfeld, but with bees.
Oh, God.
Barry
Elaine.
Beinfeld.
And then Elaine could be the girl that Jerry falls in love with.
She's just the only human. How Jerry? You don't want to do that.
Yes.
Why not?
I think I would have liked that movie a lot more.
I think me too if it was just a continuation of Seinfeld, but they're bees for no reason. It's like the follow-up, like they just got out of prison, but now they're bees for some reason.
Jerry the Seinfeld game, you're just a Jewish comedian, and then you just live in your apartment and then you're just constantly bombarded by your friends.
So-
but it's fun.
Somebody made like a cover of the Seinfeld theme using Sega Genesis like sound bites, and they made the little Photoshop cover that's like a cartridge that says Seinfeld. It makes me wish that they made a crappy Seinfeld game in the 90s as well.
Like a 3D platformer.
It would
just
be-
collecting. Like,
Knowing that era, it would be like, oh no, Jerry's comedy routine notes got blown all over New York. You have to go explore. And each character has like different abilities. So like Kramer, I don't know, Kramer can like jump higher. Maybe George can fit into tight spaces. Jerry, I don't know what Jerry would do.
He's just like the average character.
He's the fastest.
Yeah.
He would
And
just
then-
make like remarks at every single thing that came up. Like
Elaine has a move that kills everything on screen. The dance.
She has that push.
She dances.
She has the push. She
Yeah,
can push people
she
out
does
of
the
way.
get out attack and it just knocks people over.
And then the enemy would be Newman.
Can somebody please make this? I want this so Newman you figure out it was Newman who just like turned the fan on and blew his notes out the window.
Seinfeld the game.
Hello, Jerry.
2018. Let's do it.
I'm imagining like those RPG Maker like style fightings. And like the final boss is just Newman, he's just standing there. You and you have Jerry, Elaine, George, and Kramer.
Like Final Fantasy. Bam, bam,
I'm just imagining that.
like the
Oh,
fight
man.
theme from Final Fantasy, but with the Seinfeld like slap bass.
Oh my gosh.
Did you ever see that somebody made like a Seinfeld video game? It was like an RPG, like it was like a dating simulator almost.
Oh, really?
It was called The Senpai, and it's Seinfeld but like with Japanese like anime things. Like Kramer finds a mech. And, like, Elaine is dating someone at her high school who thinks that she's, like, tsundere and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny. It plays just like an episode. That's good. I want Seinfeld on there, too. We'll add that to the list. So we've got...
Yeah, I want a Seinfeld video game now.
Let's just make all sitcoms video games.
These games would do awful. The
These
Seinfeld video game would do awful. But
I'd be the only
want
one
it.
who would buy, like, 5 copies of it.
I'd buy a copy.
Somebody needs to mod that. If somebody can make that, like, a game, like a full game, like, in the style of those 90s, like, licensed games, that would be amazing. So I guess on the list we have Fist of the North Star, Power Rangers, Hellboy, a good Spider-Man game, Dune,
Oh, the Flash and
The Flash,
and
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, X-Files.
X-Files.
It's like 8. Did I count right? 8? I think it's 8.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we got it. There you go.
we got it.
All right, next topic.
I think that was, any other topics? I think that might have been it. I don't know.
I really liked how we were talking about video games, and then you said like, I wonder if there's ever a B-movie game, and you're like, yeah, there was. And then we started talking about the B-movie and how they missed their opportunity to get George to play as Jerry's friend in the movie.
What is his friend's name? It's like begins with a B. I know that. Everybody's name is like Bert or Bernie.
I think his last name is Flyman.
Flyman? Flyman?
Yeah,
He's not a fly.
he's a Flyman.
He's a flyman. Oh, I get it. Because he flies and he's a man.
I don't remember what his name is.
His name is,
Paul knows off the top of his head.
Paul
I know-
knows off the top of his head, of course. He knows
He
my
does.
first and last name.
He does.
What's the name of Barry's friend in B movie?
Oh.
Cast overview. Adam Flyman.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah,
Patrick
Adam.
Warburton voices Ken.
Hmm.
He's
The boyfriend
Patrick
of the
Warburton.
girl.
He's a Kronk.
Oh, yeah.
Kronk, Putty.
Well, they added him, and that was great. But they didn't add anybody else.
Hey Jerry. So good. I love him.
I'm just
Yeah.
Why
gonna
is his
pick up
voice
this
so
book
catchy?
and look
He's got
for
a
more
great
stuff.
voice. He
I
just
know.
does.
It's funny.
He does at Disneyland, one of the rides, it's like Soarin', California. He's like the narrator on the video. So you start it, it's like, hey there, we'll be your captain today. It's like the greatest thing. You're like, yeah! And he tells you to like buckle up and stuff like that. It's like a Twilight Zone
I like his
narrator.
voice,
He's like
it's
Rod Serling.
I just like his voice. It's really good.
It's so iconic. He gets hired because of his voice.
Yeah, I would say like I would just hire him just because of his voice for anything.
I think it's like the only reason he gets hired is because his voice is so like unique.
His acting in Seinfeld was really, really goofy.
Yeah, he played it well.
He did acting in Get Smart too. He was like the robot at the end, but
He was,
his part
yeah.
was so small. It's like
He's in a lot of things. I think one of my favorite roles he did was in the early 2000s. They made a show based on The Tick, which was a cartoon and comic book. It's
is that the thing on Amazon?
yeah.
Like, they keep like advertising it. Yeah.
They made an Amazon series not too long ago. That show is pretty good on Amazon. It's not that it's okay. They took it in a kind of confusing direction, but
Okay.
he played the Tick in an early 2000s show. It only lasted like 9 episodes, but he's perfect as it because he's got like the voice and everything, and he just acts like an idiot, and it's so good. I think the problem with the new show is like they were gonna do it to where it's like this dark like comic like at this modern like dark superhero movie universe, but then it's the Tick who's just like an idiot, and they do that, which is good. So it's like dark, like Arthur has like an experimental suit, and that's how he gets his powers. But then it's like the Tick is still just like an idiot who no one knows where he came from. It's funny, but it's like sometimes they go too far, and some of the jokes are just like out of like just weird and don't make sense. Sometimes it's like too comedic when you're like, this should be serious according to the rest of the thing. But it's pretty good. I give it like a solid like 6 out of 10. Which is what I gave, like...
The Last Jedi. No, you gave The Last Jedi.
I gave The Last
5.
Jedi like a 7, I think.
Oh, I thought you gave it a 5.
I may have given it a 5. I like The Last Jedi a little more now.
Okay.
I still hate the parts of it that I hate, though, but I appreciate it a little more.
I can just already tell they're just gonna milk it and make another... They're not gonna resolve all the things in the last one. And then that's when they're gonna make the next trilogy.
I predict that they'll kill Carrie Fisher. Oh, no.
Dude, don't say that.
Oh, no.
That's a big spoiler. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, no.
What's so funny, Daniel? You just like...
Oh, yeah, I picked up the book from earlier about the dreams. Here's one about the KKK.
Yeah, you
Oh, terrific.
probably shouldn't read that.
Probably not.
That's bad fortune, I would imagine.
To dream of participating with or watching this while this white supremacist group suggests social embarrassment in the future.
That's it?
That's it.
That makes sense. That's pretty much exactly what I expected from that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You think it would be bad if they were like,
Yeah.
to be in this group means good fortune. It's like, no.
I just expected like a longer paragraph.
I
Just 2
expected
sentences.
a longer
Just
paragraph
like,
too,
if you even think about this, you're going to hell. It means you go to hell before you die.
Remember,
Yeah.
you go to hell.
I just don't particularly dream about the KKK too often, so
Not
I was
usually.
surprised it was in here.
I can't say I've dreamed of the KKK ever.
Probably should edit this part out.
Maybe.
I'll remember. I'll edit it out. I'll get it.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, KKK.
Thank you. We're leaving it in.
Alright. It's okay now.
And
It's okay.
does anybody have any other topics? There anything else? Anything?
I think we're at the 2-hour mark.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
We're probably past the 2
Yeah,
hour mark.
we're almost at 2.5 hours.
This is a good podcast.
Yes.
I like this one.
Alright, thumbs up for hating the KKK.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Never mind. Okay, this is the end of the podcast. I've been your friend, Nolan. I stuttered.
Roly-poly noli.
I'm roly-poly noli-oli. This is my dear friend.
Dan. I'm not going in depth
Dan.
because the KKK might come after me now.
I'll tell them your last name.
No, you won't.
For $20, I'll tell you guys his last name.
It's okay. We're not going to say any of our names. We're not going to say that your name is Nolan McCool or that your name is James Del Quadro.
You can fax me the $20 and I'll
I'll do it for a Scooby snack.
Oh, you'll do it for a Scooby snack?
I would.
I might dox Daniel for a Scooby snack, yeah.
No.
Y'all mind if
I
I...
might leak Daniel's nudes for a Scooby snack.
They're just like horribly photoshopped. Like, inconsistent between photos. Just Photoshop him on George doing the,
This timeless side of seduction.
yeah. Anyways, James, what is your name?
My name is James, and this was a fun time. I really enjoyed this.
This
It's
has
always
been
a
fun.
pleasure.
This has been great. I don't have anything else to add. I think that's it. Thank you all for something.
Yeah,
Thank you all for listening to this podcast. If you liked it and you hate the KKK, go down in the comment section and tell us so. And have a nice day.
In the last video I think in one of the videos I listed my information wrong. I think. Follow me on Tumblr, nolandoesthings.tumblr.com. Goodbye, everyone. Until next time.
If you made it this far, I hope you have a wonderful day.
Until next time.
Goodbye!